So, I don't know how well this is going to go, but I have just worked out that I can actually go live streaming from my camera. So, there's a few things I need to test. First of all, I need to test the quality of the video. I also need to test the quality of the audio. Now, so I don't know how. Okay, so for whatever reason, the audio isn't picking up my DJI mic, hence why it sounds so dire. I also need to readjust the canvas size on here so that we can get this to a right size. In fact, I'm going to just turn off the DJI mic because it's a bit pointless. That's a bit of a shame. Although I dare say, hello there Only Drones, and a hello there Tim. Bear with me a second guys, I am just adjusting the screen. I'm a bit gutted. For some reason it's not picking up my DJI mic. I think what I'm just going to have to do is bite the bullet and buy a proper mic for in here and in the studio. Right, does that now fit properly? On my screen I've updated it so that the image should fit properly. But I just want to see in a second what it looks like on here. That, Mr. Only Drones, is the HD0 Box Pro. And Mike came in clutch for me, as he always does. Proper legend of a man. Right, if we move that over there. Right, that should now look, oh, how much crisper and clearer and cleaner and nicer does that look? To be able to live stream from a mirrorless camera is wonderful. And in a second the overlay will move. In a second. There we go. Oh, that looks so much better. What I need to do now is, I think I can plug in the DJI mic directly to the PC. No, I can't. It's not got phono, has it? My PC, I think, has got Bluetooth. So what I should be able to do is connect this up to Bluetooth. Looks better, sounds like arse. Bit like yourself, mate, but you know, I don't like to complain. So yeah, like, this is just a test stream, so bear with me. But basically what I'm going to do is I will see if I can connect the DJI mic up via Bluetooth to the PC and then add it into the Stream Deck, and then that way we can have live crisp audio and crisp visuals on every live stream. And then what I'll need to do is get another camera, because you guys obviously want to see my beautiful face, so we'll put one on my face as well, and that might be a webcam, to be fair, because this camera's not cheap. But yes, can't you run in the cam? Do you mean the mic? No, I've turned on the mic receiver, and I've turned on the mic, and it was all connected and talking to each other. But for whatever reason, when I've just listened to the stream, it's not picking up the... Oh, I know why. Hang on. Right. Wait for it. I know why. When I press OK in a second. Right. We should... yeah, okay. Right, I'm just listening to the stream, so we should now have crisp audio. Waiting for it. Come on. We should now get... There we go. It's almost like the evolution of man, and I'm becoming almost like a professional, but let's not go too far. So the sound issue is sorted. If you fix the stream issues, what will you talk about? Well, that's the problem, isn't it? I'm completely unprepared for this. So what was happening is I was filming a couple of videos, and I thought, bugger, my camera's full. What I need to do is I need to empty this memory card, and I thought I can't be bothered going into the studio to do it. So I'll just dump it onto this PC in here. And then as I plugged it in, it gave me some options, and I thought, oh, I wonder, can I possibly make this go live? And this is where we are, so I haven't got anything to say. David, welcome. Hope you're well. Only Drone says, smooth operator. And FRDMTT says, hi, all in chat ++. How's it going? Only drones. I am stuck in a room without any windows. What's the weather like outside? Am I going to be able to fly this afternoon? Is my question, because I do have a few people asking if I'm going to do a bit of a live stream from the field again. So, but I don't know what the weather's like. So, okay, so anyway, we have got the HD0 Box Pro. We've got the Pro version. So these do have an analog receiver in them as well. I've turned them on. I've tested them. They look really nice. Yes, what? Yes, I can fly, or yes, I am. Yes, I am what? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, we've got the HD0 Box Pro. My guy Mike at Hobby RC came in proper clutch for me on this one. Really did. I owe the man a debt of gratitude for what he's done for me with these. So it is what it is, but we are here and we are a week after release. So I'm not going to rush this review. I'm going to take maybe the weekend and get it out earlier next week, because I'm going to do a few things that other reviewers I don't think have necessarily looked into in the way that I'm going to look into. Now, I'm not going to take them apart, because I'm sure Mads Tech will be doing that. And to be honest, I don't fancy taking apart a brand new set of goggles. I don't mind controllers and drones and everything like that, but I've never done goggles. So it's windy, but nothing you can't handle. Beautiful, beautiful. So I'll be streaming live from the field then, by the sounds of it. But yeah, if you've got any questions about these HD0 Box Pro, then please do drop them in the chat, and I'll stick around for 5-10 minutes. But then I am going to have to go, because I do need to continue recording this video. My initial impressions of them are the screen is very, very crisp and clear. They feel very nice on the face. And as always with HD0, obviously I've plugged in the tiny whoop right next to it, and it looks really nice and crisp. The real challenge with these, as always, is going to be how well it performs in actual flight. Goggles with analog as well, very cool. Well, that's the other thing, FRDMTT, is I don't have a set of dedicated analog goggles. I'm still using the DJI V2s with an analog module on them. So these are actually really high quality goggles, to be fair. Even though they're box goggles, they are really high quality. So I just figured, potentially, as well as for HD0, these could become like a bit of a hybrid for me. Now, I do know that HD0 have made some claims about rapid fire, and I just happen to have a rapid fire. So the test is going to be like, what's it like versus rapid fire? Because I think that's the real question to ask, isn't it? Take the hairs off for a quick... Yeah, I probably will. To be honest. One thing I will say about HD0 when it comes to QC these days is the bob on. Yeah, for the sake of taking the hairs off, I think we can have a quick look at it without too much of a problem. I've not really looked into exactly how I'd do it, but it doesn't... I wouldn't imagine it's very difficult. So yeah, we'll probably do that. So yeah, we've got a set of analog goggles. We're gonna test them against the rapid fires, and obviously we're going to test what we're also going to do, because I was running when it came to HD0, I was actually running the original SharkBite VRX module, and now since then, obviously HD0 have updated their modules with a bit more features and stuff. So I'm sort of going into this with 4-5-year-old equipment versus new equipment. So even though it's the same system, I would like to see like a sort of evolution of the system from where it was to where it is today. And obviously we'll only find that out by doing some really detailed testing. What I've done in order to do that testing is I've made sure that I've actually added some E6000 glue to this camera, because that was one of my biggest complaints with this. It slipped back and it caused all sorts of issues. Yeah. You're probably right, Only Drones. You're probably right, but you know, let's be honest. If nothing, I am but fair when it comes to these reviews. And the thing is, like I say, you've got to bear in mind all the sort of reviews I've done of HD0 in the past is using that original VRX module. And that original VRX module is probably 5 or 6 years old, if not a bit older, to be fair now. So the fact that this should operate at a better resolution, it should operate at a better FPS, and it should have a better reception. Let's find out if that's really the case or not. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I make no bones about the fact that I'm not the biggest fan of how the system operates, but let's be fair, I am honest and I am fair about it, and I'm genuinely looking forward to this because it's a system that I really, really want to love because of what they've done. It's the underdog story, isn't it? You know, Carl makes this system, tries to sell it, nobody wants to buy it, so he decides to make it himself. And so I just hope that the evolution from that Sharkbite VRX to these HD0 Box Pro, whenever you put the word Pro on a box, let alone on a Box Pro, you've got to be able to back that up. And I just hope that they can. I really do just hope that they can. But the fact that we've got analog as well, if it performs as well as what they say and what we expect and what other people say, then we should have a really good set of goggles here. FRDMTT says totally agree. Yeah, well, like I said, we'll be fair, we'll be honest, and that's all we can be at the end of the day. You know, we can be nothing other than fair and honest. So, and like I say, if you guys have got any questions or if you want anything specific adding to the review, that shadow, I'm sorry, that shadow is driving me nuts. There we go. The shadow on the goggles there was literally driving me mental, and I don't know why. So, but yeah, if you've got any questions, let me know. I'm just finishing up a video now of I've got a few one or two controllers, and people have always asked, well, which is the best one for this and which is the best one for that? So I'm just finishing that one up now. Adnan, hey buddy, how's it going? Hope you're well. And then we've also got a frame from Proto FPV, which we're going to build, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a whole series with that. So we're going to do a Let's Build series, but obviously it's just a frame. So we're going to show you what parts to get, which parts should be the best. We're going to show you how to build it, how to set it up, but then we're also going to go step by step in Betaflight to make sure that when you go out to the field for the first time, you've got a drone that's going to work really, really well. And that's probably my most requested video at this moment in time. And then what we're going to do after that is we've got a frame from one of our members, Doper FPV, who sent us a frame as well. And we're going to do exactly the same with that as well, so that you've got a couple of different variations on it, because the tune for each one of them is going to be different because they're different sizes. We've also got a couple of drones sent to us by a subscriber and by a manufacturer. One of them is the gentleman isn't able to add ELRS himself. So I said, okay, I'll happily do it for you. I'll make a video of it. I'll show you. Stand on your own 2 feet, you know, cross my palms with a little bit of silver. And we'll do that. We've also got one coming in from a shop as well, whereby there is an issue with it and they'd like us to fix it for them. So we've got loads and loads and loads of stuff coming up on the channel. And it's good now that I've been able to work out this in order to do this live streaming stuff, because now we've got a proper camera, now we've got some nice crisp visuals and audio, we can probably do this a little bit more than we have been doing. And you know, the more, as only drones would say, you've got to do more but better, and that's just what we're going to do. And I'm looking at the screen now and I'm thinking, how has it taken me so long to get such crisp visuals and audio? Is it because I'm an idiot? And the answer is probably yes. Only Drone says, oh no, sorry, Adnan says, Meteor 7504 Lite is good. It is, however, what is your intended use? This is a question that I always ask people, and sometimes people think, oh God, can you not just give me a straight answer? But if you intend to freestyle rip it around a location that's really windy, the answer is no. If you intend to freestyle rip it inside a house and never go outside, the answer is yes. So, come back to the question. What do you intend to do with it? And I will tell you whether or not it is suitable for that, or whether you need to look at something else. Only Drone says, wind's picking up now, your field might be an issue. I think I've flown in about 50 mile an hour winds on my field, which on my field, to be fair, we discussed this yesterday on the live stream, because there's a hill that rolls the wind down and then it rolls in from where we enter, it becomes like a little vortex on there. So what a 50 mile an hour wind is on that actual field is probably more. But what I'm saying is, YOLO, I'm going to fly it anyway. FRDMTT said, they're good for a multi-user, so what's the power like? Good question, we'll answer that in the review. I haven't actually used them yet. So what I've done is I've shot a setup and unboxing video this morning. So, but as you would expect, I literally unbox them. You've got to add the stickers on for the adhesive to put the foam on around the faceplate yourself. Then you've got to put the head strap on. Not a massive fan of that head strap. That's the first thing I'd replace. And then you've got the antennas. Again, I wouldn't personally use those antennas. I'd instantly replace them. However, that's not what the point of the review is it? So we will use what he sent to us and we will find out. I'm hoping the power consumption of these is going to be a lot less than the other HD Zero goggles, because I do know that they are absolute power monsters. Can't wait for those. Right up my street. FIDTM says 100%. Only Drone says it's not Jesus Christ. Are you talking about me? Are you saying I'm not Jesus Christ? Because I'm going to disagree there. At least 70 miles an hour down there. Okay, that's fine. I'll do that. That's not a problem. Both house and outside. So I'd probably say you'd be better off with the Mobula 7 because it's a 2S, or the Pavo Femto. A 1S, if Only Drones will chime in here now, and he will tell you that even though I never had any jello on his drone whatsoever when I reviewed it, he's having real issues with jello. Part of that is going to be down to the wind. When I tested it and reviewed it, there wasn't a lot of wind. Part of it is also, I believe, down to the fact you need an ND filter on that 04. That 04 is a real pain in the arse to tame, and I think that is probably where the issue is. So my advice is, if you are aiming to fly it outdoors, even though my review showed I did nothing but outdoor flying with it, I would recommend the Pavo Femto or the Mobula 7 personally. That's just where I would go. 1 second, I believe there's somebody at my door. Thanks. Don't even know what this is. Oh, I do. Wow. The irony. The irony. Let me show you what's just arrived in the post. You're going to love this. I need to figure out somewhere to put this microphone. You'll have to bear with me a second. 1 second. So I said that Mike from Hobby RC has done me an absolute solid, and I am more than happy to help anybody out. So what's just arrived in the post here is a happy model Mobula 7, ironically. This is from Your FPV. Now this is a customer return that they are struggling with. So the customers reported lots of issues with it. It's in as new condition, and they'd like us to take a look and see what we can do with it. Now, I'm pretty certain I know what's wrong with this because of the extensive testing that I did when I reviewed mine. God, learn to close a box, boy. So, that's from Your FPV. And we are helping the community out as much as we can by trying to put as much back into the community as we're getting out from it. So, hopefully we can get that back up and working for them, and they can do whatever with that. And then very kindly they've sent me a set of heat shrink, which I don't know how we knew that that was something that I was desperately short of, but it is genuinely something I was desperately short of. So yeah, we're helping the community one drone at a time. Let's have a look at the chat. Is Alice from China helping you? Who is Alice from China? G'day, friend. Simca, how's it going, brother? Hope you're well. Yeah, who is Alice from China? So, yeah, I am looking forward to getting this fixed for Your FPV. Your FPV have done me some real help recently. And the fact that it happens to arrive as I'm live streaming. You just couldn't actually make that up, could you? But Gaff, thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate that. And rest assured, I am 99.9% certain I can fix that. There is one potential issue with it, which may be something that is a little bit beyond me. There may be an issue with the 04 based on something the customer said, but the rest of what the customer said, by the way, the customer's Barry Morgan, who's also a channel member, ironically. It's a small world, isn't it, FPV? And I'm just hoping that we can do it. That supplier which I shared. Oh, right, yes, I know who you mean. So it was weird because I contacted her and we had a chat and she said, yeah, I'll come back to you with some prices of some stuff. And then she asked me if I'm a business. I said, well, I'm not. And then she asked me about import statuses. So I said, okay. And then, like, I've not heard anything from her since. So I'll chase her up, actually. So I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Will you try... Sorry, Simca says, will you try the Runcam link, the Runcam Wi-Fi version 2 for OpenIPC? I will, Simca. I was just actually saying... the plans that I've got quite a few things coming in for repair from channel members to sort of get up and running for them. And then I've got a couple of Let's Build series that I'm filming, as well as a controller comparison. And obviously I'll be doing a goggles comparison now. I've got these as well. So yes, I will. But OpenIPC is so in its infancy at the minute. I think it'll require a little bit more attention than I've got at the moment. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to miss something, or I don't want to sort of look at it in a way and be like, oh. So yes, I will. You have my word on that. But it might not be for another month or so. It's something I'm looking forward to because I fly fixed wing, and I think for fixed wing it's brilliant. Gusto FPV, you can't go wrong with anything that has the word modular in front of it. Well, the list of problems with that modular is as long as a shopping list. So let's see if we can get it fixed. I'm pretty certain I know the majority of the problems. And I think the 04 update is also likely to fix the other issue. So otherwise it may be a hardware fault with the 04, but we'll see. Lots on the plate. Yep, absolutely. And it's the best way. The more content we can put out, the busier we can keep, the more, we can try to make the channel as much of a success as we possibly can. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do, isn't it? We're trying to make this a success, not just for me, but for you guys. I'm trying to foster and build a community. That's why we've got the Discord. That's why we help each other out. And yeah, that's it really. Just random words now, isn't it? Let me have a quick look at what are we looking at here. So yeah, so that's where we're at. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good. And now, like I say, that I've worked out how to go live from my camera, and we can have these lovely crisp visuals and audios on live streams. Because the reason why I didn't do a huge amount of live streams was the audio was a bit rubbish. The visuals were a bit rubbish. And it just wasn't up to the standard that I like to put out in my name. Whereas this is much better. I'm more than happy with this. We can do this all day long. In fact, I'm really shocked actually at just how good this is coming across. So yeah, I've shocked myself. But that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. And OpenIPC will be on the channel, but it'll probably be in about 4 to 6 weeks. Great info. Thank you, Gusto. Lifestyle FPV says, cheers everyone. Cheers, Lifestyle FPV. How are you, brother? Hope you're well. Tim, I did reply to you earlier, didn't I? Yes, I did. Yes, because you said if you fix a stream, what you're going to talk about. Well, challenge accepted, Tim, basically, because I can talk about anything to anybody and make no sense whatsoever doing it. Do you spell everything with an extra U? Colour, or do you mean England? Well, Simca, my friend, sit down, let's have a chat. In England, we speak English. everybody else in the world has stolen it and adapted it to their own uses. So what I'm trying to say is that we're right and you're wrong. Now, that may start a war. We may get invaded for that, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. Yeah, no, it is weird, isn't it? But like you, I thought you was Canadian actually. So before I start going on about popping off and stuff, it's a skill a few of us have. Well, Tim, you maybe we can have you guess. Do you know what I'd like to do, guys? Actually, whilst you're here, I know there's not a huge amount here because of the time of the day and stuff, but for the weekend streams, what I'd like to do, and if anybody can advise me on how to set this up, then please do, is I'd like to somehow let you guys leave a voice message somewhere in the ethos, I don't know where, for me to then play back on the stream and answer your questions or your comments. And eventually, I'd like to have live callers on the live streams. Now, we're a fair way away from that because I'm going to need a team with me to vet the people to make sure that obviously nothing said on that stream that could potentially get the channel cancelled and blah, blah, because, you know, there are unfortunately people out there that will do that. But yeah, I'd like to be able for you guys to submit a comment verbally and have a little bit more interactivity. So if anybody knows how to do that, that'd be brilliant. Simca, we will do it deliberately. Can't sound the same as the next town over. They're always the worst people. Haha, we speak American. Yeah. No, Tim's right though. I think I know, like in America, like and Canada as well. To be fair, you guys do have a wide range of accents, but the thing is, because America's so big, and Canada as well, the accents do change from state to state, but the states could be like fucking 1,000 miles away. Do you know what I mean? Whereas here, the next village down from me, which is about 3 miles away, sound like they speak a completely different language than what I speak. And then the next village down from them sound like they speak a completely different language. So like the variety of accents in the UK change so quickly. It's a skill that only we have. And I think it's down to the amount of yous that we use. We have velour. No, I mustn't do it. Adnan, if you're still in chat, did you get my message? I'm from Minnesota, border of Canada. I have their accent kind of. Is Minnesota border? What? Do you know what? This is where my understanding fades a little bit. But are you bordering on? Which part of Canada are you bordering on? Let's just not even go there. Let's not even go there, because if I get this wrong, I'm going to look like an absolute fool. But are you a Vikings fan? That's my question. I mean, I'm a well, I was going to say Los Angeles Chargers fan, but they'll always be San Diego to me. I think the way you guys are allowed to move your sports team states is just wild. But yeah, I do love the colour of the Minnesota Vikings jerseys. I think they're amazing. Completely random. Absolutely nothing to do with the stream whatsoever. But I just thought I'd tell you that. Adnan, are you still there? Let me know in the chat. And oh, sorry, FPV Addict. I can't say the first bit of your username, mate. I'm sorry, but FPV Addict says good morning. Sorry, FPV Addict. I did mean to reply to you, but I got completely waylaid and just carried on talking. Just rubbish. Oh wow, half of you are Packers fans. Fans from Wisconsin. Ah, okay, that makes a bit more sense. NFL for me was in its golden age when Ben Roethlisberger played for the Packers. And Phillip Rivers played for the Chargers, and Eli Manning played for the Colts. No, sorry, Peyton Manning played for the Colts. Eli Manning played for the Jets. Michael Vick played for Jacksonville. That, to me, was the golden age in my lifetime, in my history, the golden age of NFL for me. I appreciate, obviously, the 60s and stuff. Ontario, that's the one. That's the one I was thinking of. I can say that now you've said it, like, I had every confidence in my ability to match cities across countries. I didn't. It was a good time then. No, you're right. I just don't seem to be able to get into it in the same way these days as back then, sort of early 2000s, like LaDainian Tomlinson, Antonio Gates, Sean Merriman. You know, like the Chargers had such an amazing team, but everybody had such an amazing team, and you had real personalities as well. Whereas these days, it's very contrived and media controlled. But what I was going to say is, since you're on the border of Canada, do you have like similar sort of mountains and stuff that you can fly FPV on? Because I would imagine you've got pretty stunning scenery, but obviously Minnesota gets pretty cold in the winter, doesn't it? Lots of snow. Sounds a bit like the UK minus the stunning scenery, I've got to be honest. Although I'm not allowed to say that, because whenever I say anything negative about the UK, everyone gets really upset at me. But it's my country, I can say what I want. He says getting cancelled. Well, this was only supposed to be a literal 2-minute test to get the camera and the microphone working, but you guys have shown up in numbers and supported me, so I thought I'd spend a little bit more time with you. But I think I'm going to have to head off now, I'm afraid, because I do need to get these videos finished. I could sit here all day and chat to you, but these videos are not going to finish themselves, are they? Minnesota has conifers. Okay, brilliant. Right, I am going to go, Simca, and Tim and Gusto and Adnan and FPV Addict and Only Drones and FRDMTT and anybody else who's watching but isn't talking. Thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate your time, and I will be back live very shortly. I'm just trying to find the button to turn this off. Again, thanks very much.